Welcome back to From A to B with your host, Alex Beck. Or AB. You could call me AB too. The cool girls call me AB. The baddies, the divas. Oh my god. Okay, today's topic is ghosting. We could say that AB potentially got ghosted recently. I think it happens to all of us, it happens to the best of us. It's just a part of dating these days. Some people don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to tell you, I'm not interested. So it's easier for people to just be emotionally unavailable and just run away. Have I ghosted? Most definitely. I am human. Is it the most effective way of going about things? No. Is it the nicest way to treat someone? Absolutely not. But we're all human. We've all done it. But I want to get into ghosting and how sometimes it's a good thing. In the moment, it might not feel like it, but in hindsight, you'll understand why. So I'm gonna dive into something that happened to me recently. So, as we know, physical attributes of another person when you're dating them is not shouldn't be number one. But me being a 5'8" woman, I tend to go for men that are taller than me, starting at 6 foot and taller because I'd like to feel as if I'm shorter. I want to be able to look up at the man I'm dating. I like feeling as if I am a 5'2" woman, you know? I want to experience that because that's just who I am. I tend to on Hinge or whatever dating app I'm on, I tend to not exactly match with the guys that are 5'10" or shorter. And I know that might be seen as not being inclusive, but usually I just X them. But this time around, I decided I'm not going to disclose his height, but I decided to match with someone that was below 5'10, okay? And in the back of my mind, I was like, maybe height isn't everything because my track record with these tall men isn't exactly positive, let's say. I don't get the greatest results. So I was like, let me give this below 5'10" guy a shot. So we started talking, and mind you, face card 10. Like, so cute. He was just short. But in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm a tall girl that loves to wear heels. So is this really like the right decision for me? And I know that is such a stupid kind of thing to be worrying about, but like I'm a Carrie Bradshaw kind of girl. Like I love a pair of heels on a night out. Like I'm always the super tall friend. So like honestly that just like cancels out the men that are 5'10" and below because when I go out at night, I'm usually like almost 6 foot when I put on my shoes. Like they're usually like a good amount of height. So I don't tend to like look at those kinds of guys. Okay, but back to the story. We match on Hinge. I was like, okay, face card cute. He's a vibe. Conversation started flowing. It was very flirty, very cute. And it kind of progressed to us getting out of Hinge and to start texting. So I was like, you know what? Let's give him a chance. Okay, ladies? So he was like, oh, I went here this weekend. Like he went somewhere that I wanted to go. And I was like, oh my God, we have stuff in common, blah, blah. We're like, okay, let's set up the date for next week. Cause like I could tell that he was one of those guys that just was giving pen pal energy. Like he just wanted to text me. Like I could tell that like there wasn't much action there, or like it takes him some time to like really set up a date. Like he just wants to text. Like that was just the energy I got through texting. Girls and gays, you know what I'm talking about. So we're texting, it's cute, it's flirty, and then finally we set up the date, whatever. And usually, I think we set it up on Sunday night, and the date was set for Thursday night, okay? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think we texted a little bit on Monday. Then he doesn't answer me. Um, and then Thursday rolls around. I don't hear from him. I was like, oh no, is this date happening? Because I'm used to guys like morning of said date text, like, are we still on for tonight? Or like, so excited to see you tonight. I get nothing. And but I'm busy that day. Like I'm a musician, songwriter, so I had a studio session that day. So I'm like in the studio writing a song, thinking about that. But then the conversation somehow leads to dating, as it usually does in the studio when you're writing songs about love and boys and heartbreak and all those things. And I was like, oh my God, wait, I'm going on a date tonight. And he hasn't texted me. And like, there was a producer in the room and a songwriter, and they were like, he hasn't texted you? And I was like, huh, you're right. That's kind of weird. So the date was set for like 8 p.m. And like, I was still at the studio at 6. So I was like, you know what? I'll just text him. Maybe he's not a big texter. Classic excuse that us women use. Okay. He's not a big texter. But like, first impressions are everything when it comes to the first date, you know? Like, you want to put your best foot forward. You want to be like inviting and fun and friendly and like make someone feel like comfortable and good vibes from you before you meet them, you know? Or at least that's how I go through it when I'm texting someone. So I get no text. 6 p.m. I don't hear from him. He doesn't answer, you guys. And we were set to go to like a very cute spot for drinks. Like, no big deal. But nights before, I was like, girls, we do this. We like try to pre plan our outfit. We're like thinking, like, oh, should I wear those shoes with that dress? Da, da. And I was like thinking about it. I was like, damn, like, what shoes do I wear? Because this guy is not much taller than me. So I can't really wear my cutie cutie shoes. So I literally don't hear from him. So what do? I go out for sushi instead. But I was like, wow, the audacity. Like, we were texting for like a week, okay? A good week. Like, we were conversing either through the dating app or texting. Like, it was a week. And nothing, you guys, nothing. He did not answer. He didn't say sorry the next day. Absolutely nothing. But I think me being 27 and like, just, I've been through the ringer with how men are in the city of Los Angeles. And I didn't really let it affect me. I was like definitely in shock. I like called up my best friend and she was like, "You're actually joking." And like, I told some of the people in my life. So like, it definitely was on my mind and I needed to vent to people, but I was just like not surprised. I don't know, maybe because he was good looking, I just like expected the worst. The worst? I don't know. But in the moment when I was out to sushi, I was like, whatever. Life goes on. Like, clearly the universe said, not he's not your guy. And that's just how I'm going to look at it, because I was stressing so much about the height thing, and I know that's not important, but like, it is to me. And I was like, I wouldn't say that this is like lowering your standards, but like, my standards are always like, I want a guy that's tall. And the universe was like, Alex, stop trying to like hinder yourself from that. If that's what you want, it's out there for you. Like, don't try and settle for the guy that you can't wear your heels with, you know? Which I totally agree. But honestly, in hindsight, like the ghosting, I was like, you know what? He clearly isn't good at communication either. So why would I want him in my life? Like, I'm so clear with communication now with like the people I work with, my friends, my family. Like, I'm like, why? I can't be with someone who doesn't know how to communicate. Like, I'm so far past that. If you asked me that maybe 3 years ago, oh my God, I'd be right where he is, like absolutely ghosting. But nowadays, I'm like, I don't have time for that. It's like, be real, show up, be honest. Like, I can handle it. And him ghosting me was just like confirmation that it's not the right fit. So, rejection is redirection. If someone ghosts you, don't take it so personally, especially in like the beginning stages of dating. Like, I didn't even know this guy. I made up a version of him in my head of who he was, right? Like, we didn't even follow each other on Instagram. Like, all I had was the Hinge pictures, okay? Like, barely knew each other. Not many texts were exchanged. Like, there were some, like, they were cute, but like, it wasn't much. Like, some smiling faces and him hearting my messages. So like, I wasn't putting a lot of my energy into that. Like, I have my own life. I have my own friends. I was busy. I was like, whatever. Like, I'll get drinks with him next week. Like, it wasn't like this thing that I was like harping on, so excited for. I mean, like, I was excited, but I wasn't like putting all my eggs in this basket and like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, my energy was like in me. It wasn't going towards him kind of vibe. So that's how I look at ghosting now. I'm like, if you can't communicate, this ain't gonna work. So That's what I'm telling you. If a guy just ghosted you, just know that it's the universe protecting you from this person. And that's just how I feel about it. All right, let's get into some questions, shall we? Why do people ghost instead of communicating honestly? Because for the people that are emotionally unavailable, it's an easier option. They think that rather than the other person actually hearing what they have to say, it's easier. Like, just cut it off, don't want to say anything. How do you personally find closure without a conversation? You just find it within yourself. Like, you can't search for closure out of humans that aren't going to give you it. Like at the end of the day, the closure you find, I feel, is always within yourself. Like, we're constantly evolving, growing, and it's like you can't this is like messed up, but like you can't always count on other people. Like, at the end of the day, you only have yourself. So just like give yourself the love you know you deserve and put all your energy into you. You are the center of your universe. I feel like that statement has really played into like my 27th year of life. Like, I'm the center of my universe. I feel like that has truly affected every relationship I have, and like my approach to my career as well. It's like you are your world, and like hopefully another person coming in just adds to that. And if that person can't, the universe takes them away, you know? Like, they were meant to be in your story for maybe a minute or two, but the writers had to write them out of the story, and that's totally okay, you know? And I feel like with every experience, you just learn more about yourself, and that's just how you have to look at it. Do you think ghosting is more about fear or lack of respect? I would say fear. I feel like in life, you either come to things with love or with fear. I feel like those are the kind of two opposite things. And I think ghosting is just fear. When I've done it in the past, I would say most of the time it was fear based. I mean, there are times where like you're just texting on a dating app and like maybe the conversation just isn't flowing. I feel like that's fine. Like, it's not like the person and you like really have some connection. I think when it gets to texting is when it adds a different kind of energy to it. Would you ever give someone a second chance after they ghosted you? Oh, I most definitely have. But like going forward, I don't think I'm going to. I think I know the respect I deserve, the love I deserve, and if like someone ghosts you, that clearly shows you like where you stand in their life. So, yeah. But then I've been on the other end where I have ghosted someone and then I come back to them and they've taken me back. But that's a bit of a different situation, you know? Like, I know I'm a great person, so I understand why they wanted me back. LOL. Okay, let's do obsession of the week. My obsession of the week is trusting your gut, okay? Something came up like career-wise, and I was working on something and it didn't feel like it was me. Or like it just didn't feel aligned with this moment in time. And I tried to go against it and not listen to my gut, but it always proves me wrong. Or no, my gut always proves me wrong. It's like, girl, listen to yourself the first time. Like, try. Sometimes in life you do need to give second chances, but like there are times where you just know how you feel about a situation and like just listen to yourself. That's like me telling you and me telling myself that. It's like trusting your gut. And my gut's always right. And I feel like maybe it's my Saturn return, like being 27, that definitely has something to do with it. But like everybody, divas, dolls, trust your gut, okay? Trust your gut. That's all I have to say. All right. Let's get into the rapid fire questions, shall we? Double text or move on? Move on. Seen or delivered? Delivered. Oh my God, never ever put on what's it called? Why am I blanking on the word? Text. No, not text. Like, I'm never putting on that thing. I don't know why I can't think of the word, but you know what I'm talking about. Karma or confrontation? I'm not a confrontational person, so I would say karma. One date ghost or months long ghost? One date ghost. Oh my God. Once you get like invested in everything, that's literally the worst. Social media stalking or self-control? I'm going to give you the real answer. Social media stalking. Like, I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm human. Block them or leave the door open. Depends on the situation, but I wish there was like a middle ground answer, but I guess leave the door open because I'm not a blocker. I'm just not. I think I blocked one person. Or no, I didn't block them. I unfollowed them. So that's different. Okay. Last one. Closure or mystery? Closure. And just to finish off the episode today, just remember rejection is redirection and it's protection, okay? The universe has got your back. And I know in the moment it might not seem like that, but you'll look back in a couple months or however long the timeline is, and you'll understand why it didn't work out. All right. I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in. I can't believe this is like the fourth or fifth, I think it's the fourth episode in. Like, this has been so much fun. Like, I really love doing this, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. I also post on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll link that all below. And I love you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.